Okay, my darling Sagittarius. Let's see what's on the cards for you all. It doesn't matter which theme in your chart you're exploring. If there's Sagittarius themes going on there, then this should be relevant. There's actually some similar themes coming up in all the readings, which tells us that we're in the same collective soup, which is good, makes sense. But sorting it into astro signs just gives you a bit more of a niche reading, which is nice. So we'll see what the guides have in store for you. I've changed up the protocol a little bit. We're going to do 3 tarot cards for your 3D world. Jumping cards already, Saggies. And then 3 cards in the shadow with my Stalk Your Shadow Oracle deck to reflect how much shadow work is going on, how much it is a part of being a 5D being in a 3D world. I don't think we want to over-identify with shadow work, but we also don't want to avoid it. So having the same amount of cards really reflects that we have to organize our 3D world. We're in a 3D vessel no matter what. That can be difficult at times. 5D is a very pleasant experience, but also laden with constant healing. It's sort of ever evolving. And I know from my clients and students that we learn the capacity to hold both polarities with a continuous state of surrender as much as we possibly can, while still honoring what our 3D lives need: safety, structure, time, money, energy, day-to-day habits, things like that. And enjoying the blissful state of 5D, but not negating or avoiding the shadow work components. Otherwise, we will come back down into 3D. Our bodies will go back into fight and flight survival systems. We'll have to renegotiate all of that, get it all up and running again to bring ourselves back up in our frequency. So that seems to be a normal pattern at the moment. It's not a linear progression. It's not a, yay, I made it into 5D, everything's going to be fine now. It's actually navigating the balance and understanding, keeping the frequency high, surrendering to the discomfort, doing the relevant shadow work, and not needing to plummet back down. And usually that is, the plummet comes from draining your resources to the point where you go into old mechanisms. So old mechanisms are the old fight and flight, high cortisol systems. So whatever the narratives or the traumas or the shifts in the environment are, when we go back into those old habits, it could be old addictions, old self-sabotage. We'll find ourselves in that low vibration as a reassess, review. What leaked our resources? Do we still want to go back to that blissful place? Do we still want to engage in our healing journey? Sometimes we need to go back and sort out the 3D, which is like, you know, get a better job, work on a better support system, save our money, free up our time, do the meditation, the exercise, the healthy eating. All of that is the structure to then get us back up. But we still have to balance that. The other side of the coin can be going too far into the spiritual nature of this incarnation. We can spiritually bypass our 3D world, saying it's not important to do any of that. It's actually not important for me to eat well, and it makes no difference. I'm connected to source. I have all these guides. My ancestors are with me. But nothing can get us away from the human incarnation in a 3D physical vessel as this multidimensional soul with the difficulties of evolving. So we can go too far into either, and it's really that balance of, I'm in the one incarnation, I need to look after my body. I love that the ancestors are here for me, but they cannot take away the relevant work and structure that my 3D life needs always. and I can beg and make offerings and plead to them that I have enough energy to sustain the spiritual mission, or I have enough health to have a smooth and easy ride. But we still must go through the depths of the human experience, the darkness, the pain, the suffering, the discomfort, right? We're not here to develop our spirituality to bypass that. It doesn't take away suffering. It helps us to engage and release ourselves from what suffering means, right? It's the surrender point that we're looking for. And that sense of, okay, well, if I have to do this very 3D job for a while, then that's what I need to do. If I need to make more offerings, pray to the ancestors, and whatever they ask me to do, I need to do that. It could be start a business, write a book, get out there and help people, be a leader. Then we go, okay, I accept the mission. What does my body and my mind and my 3D sector need, and all of my sectors there to get this job done? Thinking that they're going to come in and bless you with all the health and all the energy and everything else without tending to the physical garden can be the biggest spiritual bypass of all. So, Sagis, there has been a victory. There has been something that you've achieved creatively, whether it's a change in your lifestyle, change in job, something you've pursued, something that's worked out for you. Have gratitude for what's worked out for you. It has been an achievement. You have been victorious there, which means you have achieved it. You did it. Now you are learning about adapting and juggling to new parameters, new circumstances, changes in the 3D world, which might mean shifts, healing, sudden changes, loss, whatever it is. It's really about understanding how to go with it and manage health, wealth, vitality, all of those things, honoring the changing tide. So we're not like in calm seas, it feels. It is a time to adapt quickly each and every day, moment to moment, right? Okay, this is what we're doing now. Okay, that's not what I expected. That's fine. I'm going to go with it so that we can have a sense of the new beginning, right? Now, you've had the achievement, you're learning how to adapt, you're looking towards a new beginning where you take a leap of faith, once again, as if you've never been hurt, as if you don't have all these worries and fears in the background and all these attachments, right? The Fool really says, I'm not worried about or interested in the what ifs here. I'm not interested in where you fucked it up in the past. I'm not interested in, oh, but what about all my stuff and what will people think? The Fool is not about that. The Fool says, you have an inkling and an idea that something new needs to be started, and we're going in with trust and nothing to lose, which means we can't be afraid of making the same mistakes as the past. We can't be afraid of losing all of our stuff or our material wealth or anything like that. We actually have to put that aside and say, this leap of faith is more important than my attachments to anything that I have right now. So that might be interesting after the victory and the adaptation, a new leap of faith off the cliff. Let's see how this goes, but that's coming up this month. So it might already be in your periphery. It might not. You might be just at the victory, like, oh my God, we did it. This is awesome. Or you can already see it. Those of you that have developed your psychic senses a lot, you already know it's coming. You can feel it. There might be a sense of nervousness, anxiety, or adrenaline as your future timeline comes closer to you. So the best thing to do as you see that new beginning coming closer to you is gather your resources and adapt. You have the insight and the sight to know it's coming. So prepare. Don't run around and freak out saying something bad's going to happen. I want you to prepare for a new beginning. Most of us, because we have fear-based conditioning, will say, I'm about to lose something, quick, hold tight. If you have developed your intuition to a point where you trust your guides and your ability to adapt, you'll feel it coming and already work on the surrender point. Biggest hack for that is gratitude. Thank you for the new beginning that I can feel is coming. Give me the courage to take the leap of faith when I know I need to take it. Please take care of these parts of my life. Make sure that the transition is easy and smooth, etc. Because in the shadow, you are preparing to be a leader, an intuitive leader, not a leader by force. So don't force people into doing better. Don't ridicule them when they're not doing good enough. Go out there and be an intuitive leader, which says, what part of my intuition knows that I need to take that leap of faith to show others that it's okay, right? That's what being a leader is. So prepare, do it as well as you can and lead the way, intuitively knowing that you're going to influence more than just yourself here. You might give someone else the courage. Dragonfly also shows us that transformation is coming. And it says in the 5D realm, that transformation can be steady. So even though there's a leap of faith in your 3D world, you can glide through and hover through the experience because you are a highly evolved, multi-dimensional being that is tapped into 5D frequency that says, what looks like a leap of faith to everybody else on the ground is actually me just walking through a door that I already knew was here. Keep it steady. Know that it's coming, prepare for it, already consent to it. Say to your guides, I give permission for this transformation to happen. Glide on through. When it's here, you say, oh, there you are. Awesome. I'm ready. I got my bags packed, and because it's the fall, there's not much in my bag. And I'm not scared because I'm ready and you've told me this is coming. Let's just cruise on through, right? The moth tells me that along the way, you will have to sit in some darkness. It will be uncomfortable, but uncomfortable or discomfort doesn't need to mean stress, right? You can prepare for all of this. I'm stepping up to be a leader. My intuition tells me that something is coming. Great. I'm going to glide on through and already connect with what's coming, knowing that it will serve me. Maybe when you get there or as you pass through the transition, steady, calm, and in alignment with what your body needs, the moth will ask you to sit in the discomfort of that. So this happens quite a lot with my students as they go into 5D. They realize that not only do they not have the stress and the drama of constantly freaking out, constantly doubting everything, constantly having this dramatic fight and flight response to everything, they actually can start to glide through into experiences and opportunities that they never thought were possible for them. And not only is it not as difficult as they thought it was going to be, so no fear-based egoic narrative saying you shouldn't be doing this, you're not worth it, blah, blah, blah. But as you go through it, you actually realize that instead of dopamine on the other end, you have grief. Grief says, because I just went through that experience without huge doubt and huge friction and chaos and everything that comes with feeling not prepared and not consenting to the experience, I actually just let go of the part of me that needs it to be difficult and hard and strenuous and all the things. Glide through and sit in that grief because it will spark new creativity, a new version of yourself, and all the newness that comes after grief. If you are courageous enough to sit in it and accept it, the moth will go towards the light and you will experience a new version of yourself. So allow that to happen. That is available to you. This doesn't need to be bottoming out your stomach scary. This will be, oh, the leap's happening today. Okay, I've prepared for this. I know what this feels like. I know it's going to bring up concerns. And then I know I'm going to sit in a bit of grief with that because new beginnings mean endings have happened. So sometimes our indicator that we have transformed is grief is present in our bodies. Go with it. Yeah, grief is one of the most divine, profound teachers that you'll ever find. So it is going to be a big month for you, Saggies. Go well. Be kind to yourselves. Let me know if you need any other support. If you love the way that we do readings and things, we do this in Patreon all the time. This is free for you guys. It's a beautiful offering. I'm honored to do it. But if you really want structure and support networks and regular readings and things, come and join us in Patreon. It's super fun. All right, I love you guys. Bye.